Italians are the king of superstition. I feel like all old wives' tales have their origin in Italian wives. Um, I know one thing in specific that kind of makes me laugh is they have this fear of moving air. It's called colpa d'aria, um, and so like air conditionings or fans, they just don't believe in. Like it'll be 120 degrees outside, and you'll be in church, and if you turn the air conditioning on, like be prepared to be chastised because those members don't like the air conditioning on because they feel like it's gonna make them sick. Because I don't, like I said, it's like an old wives' tale, and they literally feel like it'll make them throw up. And I just thought that was so funny. And you learn to live with it too. You learn to love it too. I remember my first summer and I would just die because it was so hot and no one would have the air conditioning on. And then the second summer, like I kind of liked it. It was like, you know what? This is the last summer I'm gonna have where I can just die in my own sweat, you know? And I'm just gonna accept this whole colpa d'aria thing and live with it. And just like weird quirks like that. I mean, you can't touch, like you can't eat pasta with bread or else you'll have a heart attack. And just a bunch of little things, and they'll tell you about it. Like I said, Italians don't mince words. They'll tell you what's right and what's wrong to do. And just like follow what they say. Even if it sounds super weird, even if it doesn't make any sense in our American world, just do it and you'll actually end up enjoying it and you'll accept that Italian culture for what it is. They put so much effort into food that if they try to feed you, even if you're just full to your brim, there's been times where like I've thought I would just explode because I've eaten so much. But I think the stomach's like bigger than we imagine it is because we can fit more in. And I mean, they put so much effort in that food and like you gotta eat it, you know? They're like offended if you don't. Another thing is they love Americans there in Italy. They just love like everything about America. They hear like legends about hamburgers and about hot dogs and like about American cartoons, and they just think it's the coolest thing ever. And so I think one thing is to like go around and be proud that you're American, but you're also in Italy. So it's good to become Italian, you know, to accept their way of life, but still kind of, I wouldn't say milk the whole American image, but just know that they really do like Americans and they think we're good people. Food is life there in Italy. It literally is. I mean, it's more than just eating. It's a social experience, and that's why when you eat lunch there, it's not like a 20-minute grab and go type thing. It's you sit down, have like 5 different courses, and you take your time and you socialize and talk, and it's like it's a way of life there. It's how they get together. It's their way of showing appreciation for each other. And I think in every city I went to, we had our nonna Italian, our grandma in every city, you know? These people are the most wonderful people I've ever met, and they just want to feed us, you know? And really experience what an Italian meal is like, which is a social experience. It's not just eating. It's learning about people. It's showing who you are through what you make, you know? And everyone has their different recipes there. I mean, you're not going to eat the same thing over and over again every day. My personal favorites is obviously lasagna is fantastic. We like that here in the States too. And there, everyone has a different way of making it. It's just so good, and everything's so natural. The cheese there is just to die for. They get it fresh from the market, and the pesto. Pesto is another thing that when I served on the coast, we had a lot of, because that's what they eat is pesto and fish and stuff like that. But wherever you go, it's different. That's what's neat about Italy is here we think of Italian food as just one type of thing. There, from city to city, it changes. In one city, you'll get lots of meats and cheese. In another city, you'll get lots of fish. And wherever you go, you get pasta. But it changes from place to place. I know in my last area in Florence, they had this thing called Florentine steak, bistecca fiorentina. That's just this like hunk of steak, probably a few pounds, and they just give it to you and it's like raw. You cut into it and it's just like blood red, but it's so good. And like, I don't know how they do it. I swear they have like an Italian touch or something, because whatever food they touch just turns amazing. You know, it all comes down to just like the base stuff that they have there. I mean, every dish is just made with the best cheese, the best bread, and the best fruit, and that's what makes it so good. The pizza's to die for there. And the thing is, they teach you how to cook too. So like I had members teach me how to make a pizza and like flip it up in the air and stuff like that. And so you come home learning how to make all this stuff, and you feel Italian, even though I'm not Italian at all. You know, you do eat some weird things too. I know I got fed horse a few times, and it's something that they like. I don't necessarily like it, but like I said, they have the Italian touch, and whatever they make, it tastes good. There's definitely some things that we eat in America that are American inventions for sure. Fettuccine Alfredo. You tell an Italian that, and they say like, "Who the heck is Alfredo? Like, who? What is this?" You know? Or we eat the pizza really thick there, and they like this like nice thin, well cooked crust, so it kind of like crunches in your mouth. They like to keep things fresh, so here we eat a lot of stuff with preservatives and from cans and jars and stuff like that. There, if they had the choice, they just plant everything in their garden, cut it up, put it in a meal, and you feel better when you eat it. Like you eat it and you come out of a meal just stuffed, but you feel good, you know? You don't feel like sick at all, you know? In fact, when I came home to the States, that was one thing I noticed is like whatever I ate, I kind of like my stomach hurt just because like it wasn't, I don't want to sound like a snob or anything, but it wasn't like Italian food, you know? One thing I love about Italian culture is the focus on the family. The family's huge there. I've never met more mama's boys in my life as I have in Italy, which is a fantastic thing. Like the Italian men just like love their mothers to death, you know? And I think it's more the Italian mothers love their kids to death too, because if it was their choice, they'd have their kids live with them until they were 40. But there's just such a great focus on the family. I mean, no matter where you are, Sunday after church, you go eat lunch with your family. That's what it is. And they just love each other and they keep in contact. Broken families aren't as common, you know? It's like families stay together there, which I think is great. That's my favorite thing about Italian culture. I think something else is that they definitely think a lot about what they do, but they're really loud about it, you know? So they think a lot about what they do, but they also say it out loud. Italians don't mince words. They're bold, and they'll tell you what they think. It's not like they shy away from saying anything. And I just love that about them. It's like there's no trying to worry about whether to please people or not, you know? They just say they say what's on their mind. And I think it makes the society actually work pretty well there, you know? Because people are clear with their intentions, and you know when someone's sincere. And I love that about Italians. It's like they're short, and that's like but in a good way, you know?